Hey everyone, welcome to the Gamer and the Weeb podcast, the only podcast that will jump you with Boogie Woogie. I'm your host Ryan, here with my co-host.
Bon Dio Leo.
And guys, don't forget to follow us on YouTube at the Gamer and the Weeb. And don't forget to follow us at Spotify at the Gamer and the Weeb, on Instagram as well at the Gamer underscore the letter N underscore the Weeb. And Leo, what are we talking about today?
Today we're gonna talk about three pieces of media that has been circulating around the entire social world right now, because these three medias are popping off right now, and one of them is me and Ryan's favorite. Or as a matter of fact, all of these three can arguably be like our favorites. Actually, like one of them is Ryan's favorite, one of them is my favorite, and then the last one is both of our favorites. So it's gonna be a good one today. But right now, there's a certain manga that's been going on for years that's really good. Some people don't like it because of a certain fan base, but me and Ryan loved it since, well, Ryan liked it since it came out. I joined in kind of later, but I've stuck by it. I didn't care about the fan base. I've always liked it. Same with Ryan. But we're going to talk about My Hero Academia manga because, like Ryan was saying earlier, that it probably has like 5 chapters left. And then so the series is officially over. And at first, I was kind of sad about Deku. So it's gonna be a huge like spoiler, by the way, guys. So if you guys are not caught up with the manga, then I would suggest clicking away from this video because we're talking about a lot of spoilers for My Hero and the next manga that we're talking about. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, then I would click off now because in 3 seconds I'm gonna talk about it. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So
not 3 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
So we're gonna talk about so if you guys don't know, from the very beginning of the show, manga or anime, Deku would always say, "This is a story how I became the greatest hero." Right? He doesn't mention he becomes number one, even though that's his goal. But he always says, "This is how I became the greatest hero ever." But he doesn't say, "Oh, how I became the number one hero." And I remember me and Ryan would always theorize this back when like season I think 3 was coming out. And we theorized how I was like, dude, I don't think Deku will become number one. I think he becomes like number 2 or something because he doesn't say he becomes number 1, just the greatest. And now, like, me and Ryan's theory was half correct because, like, 2 chapters ago, he came up with the way, him and like the 9 users came up with the way how to defeat Shigaraki. And that was to literally give Shigaraki all of his freaking powers, dude. So now Deku is quirkless again. Shigaraki took everything from this kid, but it came full circle because then like the 9th user, all 9 users were inside Shigaraki, like just destroying this guy. Imagine COVID. It was like that with Shigaraki, just getting destroyed by the 9 users. But as a matter of fact, not Shigaraki because All For One actually took his body, so now it's All For One in that body. And right now Deku literally has no quirks. It ends with Deku with an amazing panel, by the way. Awesome panel. I'll probably put it up on the screen too right now. But this panel was awesome. It shows Deku in the air after punching All For One, and he's just there quirkless. We're back to the same boy that we knew from the very beginning. And I kind of like it. It comes full circle with this whole character arc. Like since the very beginning, we've seen Deku like still rushing even with no powers. So I think it's fitting that it begins with him rushing with no powers and then ending with him rushing with no powers again. I think that's a really awesome development for him, and it comes full circle. But shit, dude, I don't know what's gonna happen next, man. Like, it could pull like some bullshit, like, "Oh, I'm still alive," like a villain arc or something. Like, I'm still alive, but I don't know. But I've been liking how this whole manga's been going. I know people don't like it because oh the fanbase is so weird. And even right now, if you're an anime only, like the anime's not doing that good either. Like me and my girlfriend saw the war arc that happened, and I was like, dude, this is garbage. And she was like, what do you mean it's so good? I was like, no. The manga is so much better than this, dude. Like this does not do justice to the manga. Like Bones just got lazy for some reason because it was so good in the beginning. Now they're kind of just like, whatever. But I'm like, dude, that's like one of your biggest shows. How can you just give it that treatment? Like, don't give it the Berserk season 2 treatment, dude. Like, come on, man.
They're just upset. They're just mad that Mappa's just like destroying them in animation and
Yeah.
and shows. But I think I have a lot to say about this manga, this anime. I hate to do like sappy shit. I'm not that type of person, but this manga definitely helped me through like a lot of tough times in my life, and Deku is definitely a character that I relate to a lot. And so I remember reading the last two chapters and like fighting back tears, and like again, I'm not saying the writing was making me tear up, but because my relationship with the characters and how the story is playing out, I really did have a hard time like not tearing up, especially when it wasn't even this last chapter. It was a chapter before where Izuku says to Aizawa, he's like, "My embers still burn," like kind of mirroring All Might. I was like, "Wow, that's a full circle moment that I really enjoyed." And then again, the chapter is called "The Boy, the Boy Who Runs," which I was like, "Wow, that's one of the early chapters when he goes and saves Bakugo is the boy who runs." So I was like, amazing. And then this one was Origins of Izuku Midoriya instead of Origins of Deku, which I was like, oh my god, everything is just all his writing points are becoming amazing. But I will say I do have a problem with this. I've talked to some other friends about it. I do feel like in this final arc, everyone has gotten their just desserts, their flowers, except for Izuku and Shigaraki. I feel that those two mirror each other so well, and the last last minute introduction of All for One in their fight kind of ruined the momentum of the fight itself. It, the story has always been Deku defeating Shigaraki, and the way that this plays out is not that at all. It's And I guess some people will say, well, in the last war arc, he said he was going to save Shigaraki, and it's like, yeah, but we as the fans expected him to like them to have a fight. Every other character in the manga gets a fight, and Deku just kind of gets one punch because everyone has to come in and save him. He's supposed to become the greatest hero, but yet people have to come in and save him. And so when the introduction of 1A into their fight was really hard for me to swallow. And this last chapter, I think, kind of made up for it. It was a lot of beautiful full circle moments, but for me, it still wasn't the exact way I would have liked it to happen.
Yeah, they because I know from the very beginning too, they kind of just shoved the friends thing down our throats in this series. Um, like they do mention a lot time and time again that like Deku needs his friends to get to, and he even says it too. I forget what villain he says it to, but he's like, "Yeah, my friends is the reason why I'm here. They help me get to where I'm at." So I kind of see the Horikoshi kind of like, yeah, he needs his friends, but it would have been pretty cool to see him do on his own, kind of like with All Might versus All for One. Like All Might didn't use any tricks; he just uses like his wits and stuff because no one else could even lay a finger on All for One. So I think it would have been cool if Deku got sent off with like how All Might got sent off with the last smash they did with the United States. Um, but speaking about that, it kind of reminds me of I just thought about this too, like the whole Deku and Shigaraki, like the whole characters they share is the fact that how Shigaraki would kill anyone without an instant, while Deku would save people without an instant. It kind of reminds me of Yuji and Mahito, doesn't it? Because they both have the
I mean,
same parallel too.
yeah, and the Shigaraki and Mahito, the hair color, kind of like I know Shigaraki doesn't have stitches, but he has like scars on his body, and Mahito has stitches, so they are very similar characters for sure.
Yeah, Yuji and Deku would be best friends for sure, no doubt about that.
Yeah, they well, I don't know because he'd be like, "What type of girls do you like?" And Izuku would get all like,
What?
sweating. He's like, oh, I don't know, I don't know.
um, yeah, dude. I wish people would give this more of a chance, man. It's a really good series. It's a great series, actually. Arguably, it's this one and the next manga we're talking about. In my opinion, these two are the ones currently carrying the manga new gen for shonen. These two are the ones that like everyone's tuning in every single weekend to read, and no matter where you're at, where it's being read at, if you see these two names, people are like literally clicking to see these series like unfold. So My Heroes is, and the one you're talking about is currently carrying this so far, like this manga of shonen. I don't think any other shonen mangas has been popping off like how these two are. Because not even Chainsaw Man is popping off like I was like in the first half of the series.
Hmm.
Like it's good. I'm reading it. Like I kind of like it because we're actually getting more Denji character, which I think he deserves. But like I don't know, I'm not getting the same feeling as like me waiting to read a My Hero or the next one manga. I'm not dying to read Chainsaw Man at the moment. Um,
Yeah, I'm waiting like some other mangas. I'm waiting them for them to get like 4 or 5 chapters, you know, in, and then I'll binge read them, and then wait 4 or 5 weeks, and then. But My Hero and the next manga, I've been every week. Even some weeks I forget that like they're taking a break. Like My Hero's taking a break next week, but I don't know why. But I'm like, oh, like dang it! Like I really want more of these two. They're amazing. And I was gonna bring something up that you said earlier, talking about the One for All and the All Might fight. So All Might is the greatest hero, right?
mhm.
Or the number one, the symbol of peace. He has this epic fight with the symbol of evil, number one villain. And to me, All for One was this big bad that I was always kind of waiting for Deku to fight. And people will say, well, oh, he takes over, Shigaraki's body and Deku beats him that way. Technically, All for One already lost in that arc in a 1v1. You
That
know what
is
I mean? It wasn't even like injured All for One. There's something that happens in the manga where he becomes like full prime All for One, and somebody else beats that character, and then Deku like doesn't get to beat Shigaraki. Like now it's kind of like in my head, I'm like, he's supposed to be the greatest hero, and he needs everyone's help to beat Shigaraki, where this other person beat the main villain by himself, and it took all my everything he had to beat that character, and this character is like just like what, a little tired or a little injured, like
Yeah.
it's hard to at that point it's hard to believe that like people are gonna see Deku as this number one hero. And I get what they're doing, like, because Deku's like, do your best, you can do it. And there was like, when he's charging in for that final blow, everyone's chanting, do your best. Like, everyone's rallying behind him. And that's what Horikoshi's going to say makes him the greatest hero, is that like people rally behind him. And it's like, yeah, I mean, people can rally behind him all they want, but like, if he can't win by himself, like, what good is he?
Yeah, you have a point there actually. Trying to see it. No, yeah, he had some moments where he did it himself, but it wasn't like an all
Well,
for
yeah,
one type stuff, like type level
yeah.
of destruction.
Well, he totally, in my opinion, in the first war arc, he carries.
Oh yeah.
Izuku carries the war arc. He like is holding everyone in the air with Black Whip and like absolutely manhandling Shigaraki. And then he carries the next arc in the Vigilante arc. And I was hoping that same energy would carry on from Vigilante to the final war. And I at first I was like, okay, it is. like with their fight in front of Mount Fuji. I was like, okay, it is, and all of a sudden, like I feel like the carpet was ripped out from under us, and like he wasn't there anymore. I was like, oh, this is not what I wanted.
Yeah, I mean that actually kind of carries over to our next manga too that we're gonna be talking about with the whole it takes friends to beat like the big bad actually. But before we go on to that, but yeah, uh, I mean I still like it. I just it's just that the anime is not being good anymore because Bones just totally just decided to ditch it for some reason. But they still gave Mob Psycho its flowers for all 3 seasons. It's all great animation for some reason. Well, no, not for some reason. Mob Psycho is fucking great. But I just wish they would have kept the same energy with My Hero as well for the anime. Um, but even like Bakugo, dude, like he had like a little moment too to helping Deku like defeat All for One.
Yeah,
Um,
but like to me, like I don't know, especially with Bakugo. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Bakugo as a character. I think he's come a long way. I didn't like him at first, and through the use of a tool that not many people know about called character development, I actually started to like him, and I think he became a good friend to Deku,
mhm.
really good friend. And I do feel I only said that for the shivers. I said friend, guys.
Friend,
Friend,
friend.
platonic. But I think that was kind of an even more like salt in the wound, slap in the face, because the whole point of that like class 1A helping him was that like all for one overlooked all these other people in class 1A as like ants and insignificant. And so it was kind of cool to see all these characters that all for one deems as useless to kind of step in and help. But then when Bakugo and Todoroki showed up, I was like, oh dude, like salt in the wound, especially when like he's about to land the punch and then like that thing happens to his arm and then Bakugo blows it up before it can do anything to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, so you had to be saved by Bakugo. So you had to be. I was like, oh my god, like, can I just have Deku fight someone and just beat them without blowing his arms off or like needing help? Like, can I just have that? I guess I can't because the series is pretty much over.
Yeah. um.
But everything will be okay as long as I get one thing. Can you guess what that one thing is?
Shit.
Simple.
That's Deku just kissing with Bakugo, right? That one?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Duh.
exactly what I need.
That has to do with the ship though.
It does have to do with the ship.
Oh, then I'm guessing it's the Deku no Uraraka, right?
Yes, if that kiss doesn't happen, dude, I'm gonna cry. I'm like, oh my god, dude, the foreshadowing is crazy, and I hate when like they have this crazy foreshadowing with these two characters, and then like at the end of the series, there's not even like a kiss. Like you don't have to tell me they're married and or they have kids, but a kiss would be nice at Fairy Tale.
It kind of like that reminds me of like when Horikoshi finally came out with like that one that art that he did with Deku and Uraraka when they're falling from the sky. Oh
Oh,
my
which is totally gonna happen next chapter.
yeah, but you remember how pissed these gay shippers were, dude, about that? They were so pissed. Like, dude, why you guys going against the creator's freaking mind that he wanted for the characters? You don't understand that shit. But actually, speaking about that, dude, I saw a tweet today that kind of really got me mad. It was someone talking about how Endeavor sucks, that he should die because of what he did to his family, and someone like responded to it like the picture of like the villains like Twice, Toga and Shigaraki, how they're killing everyone. It's like, oh, they're so cool, you know? And then it shows Endeavor like, hey, I abused my family, but I'm trying to make up for it because I regret it. And then it says, oh, you get out of here, bro. You're a terrible person. That shit pisses me off that people don't like Endeavor, dude. When I think he's arguably the best character in the entire show, in my opinion.
I agree. I think Endeavor is definitely the best character in the whole show. Again, I want to point this out, and I might get some hate for this. So just buckle up, everybody. Um, so number one, Endeavor didn't burn Todoroki's face. That was the mom.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, well, he beat the mom." Well, yeah, he beat the mom because he burned Todoroki's face.
Yeah, well, women deserve it, dude.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Just kidding. I'm just
Exactly.
kidding. I'm playing.
Dave, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But so he stopped the mom for burning Todoroki worse. Um, he didn't kill Toya. Toya, quote unquote, killed himself. And sure, he was a neglectful father and stuff like that. But a lot of like the beating and especially, I feel like everyone, at least for me, I stopped seeing a lot of that stuff on the internet when Toya's backstory like actually came out with the family and everything. And it was just like, oh, Endeavor was just kind of like a really hard father and a dick, which is like, grow up, Peter Pan. That's everyone's dad. It would be like the equivalent of like, okay, Leo, you played soccer growing up, yeah?
Yes.
Did your dad ever like slide tackle you?
Well, he was goalie, so he hasn't. But
But if he did, would you be like, oh my god, I need to start my villain arc right away?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to. Right after fucking buy a Glock and just rob a convenience store after that. No, I would not want to do that.
Well, because that's what I'm like. I grew up as a wrestler, so like I wrestled with my dad, and you know, my dad would wrestle me and beat me up. You know, that's
Mhm.
part of the sport. And when Todoroki has to fight villains, he's gonna kind of be like, "Oh yeah, this is kind of easy because my dad's the number one hero, and
Yeah.
I fought him." Sure, he went overboard. I agree, but he really isn't that bad of a person. Where like everyone's like, "Man, I feel bad for Shigaraki," even though he melted his whole family.
Yeah,
Or what
exactly.
about
Yeah.
what's All Might's Nana Shimura? She abandoned her kid. Like no one talks about him.
That is true, huh? No, yeah. I don't know why they want to just talk shit on my boy Endeavor. Is it because in this day and age, if you put your hands on a girl, it's like the worst? It's like worse than killing people. Oh my god, you beat a girl, but this other guy murdered an entire family. But that's all right. He didn't mean it.
He has cool hair.
But yeah, I just want to bring that up because I kind of hate the fact that Enrique gets a lot of hate, even though he's like the best character slash also best written character in the entire show.
I
Um,
agree. I was like, damn, I kind of wish this manga was about him, low key. Sometimes I was like, and he just has a great character design, and he, in my opinion, has the best fight in the whole show in manga.
the Nomu one.
Yeah, him versus the Nomu. Like, and look, him versus the Nomu, and then he fights all the high end in the hospital. Then he fights Shigaraki. Then he uppercuts Gigantomachia. Then he fights a weakened version or the same version of All for One that All Might fought and beats him. And then he goes and fights Toya. Like Endeavor has all the best fights. It's like Deku fights Muscular. That was a first good fight. I don't. Stain was not a good fight. Him and Shigaraki was a good fight. This last fight he has in the manga is okay at best. His best fights are all in the movies.
Yeah, I know. Actually, speaking of Stain, dude, I actually like the because his character also came like full circle too, because like he's always hated heroes because they just want to be just fame and then they want the money rather than actually like being like a symbol of peace like All Might, which is why he actually respected All Might. He's like, I'll only not kill All Might because he actually is a hero. Like he does it for the people. And I just like the fact that like the All Might versus All for One fight, dude, like round two. Well, for us, round two, when he's in his weakened form and he has like all these gadgets, and then Stain fucking helps out All Might because from what you see from Stain, he kills every hero, and this is the first thing we see Stain helping a hero. And I just like the fact that the one he's helping is of course All Might, the one that he deems the actual worthy of being called the hero. I thought that was an awesome character for Stain as well.
And that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like I feel like everyone had like All Might has his dope ass comeback. Bakugo has a great fight. Todoroki has a great fight. Uraraka has a great fight. Even what's his name versus the guy who fights Spinner, the octopus guy. I
Oh,
forget his name.
Yeah, the one who he's like actually like one of the strongest students. Actually, like just physical strength is actually like his. I think top tier, right?
Yeah, he has a
Kashi.
great fight. Yeah, Kakashi. Yeah, he has a great fight. Um, the big three all have a great fight in holding off Shigaraki. Uh, Red Riot, Kirishima gets his redemption arc versus Gigantomachia. Like all these, and then like even all the little characters and other characters from different schools all get to have their dope ass like comeuppance versus either All for One or Shigaraki in like the two like jumping parties. And Deku doesn't have any arms. You know what I mean? And Deku doesn't have any arms. Shigaraki is stuck in his body because All for One took it over. Cool. Cool. But at
Yeah.
least everyone else got something cool. Except for your main character and your main villain.
Well, who knows? I mean, it's not officially over yet. Who knows what we'll see in the next few chapters?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If he's not clapping some gravity cheeks, dude, what did we sit here and watch it for?
Watch it. I have a feeling that there might if Horikoshi goes down the route where like, oh, let's skip like 20 years plus in the future, and then like everyone has kids and shit. Watch like fucking somehow like Deku's kids for some reason like the watch like Deku still have like a little ember of like All for One. I mean, One for All, and like I'm pretty sure before he climaxed, dude, he was like, "Unite!" You know, United States.
Yeah.
And then like the little ember.
He's like he's sticking one arm up in the air in the All Might victory pose.
No, like right
looks
before.
like
No, then before he shoots it, dude, like shoots the load, you see like, the fire little the embers go fucking big, like how All Might destroys fucking All for One and shit. But I don't know. I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of excited to where it goes after this chapter.
me too. And I'm gonna ask you overall, what are you gonna give it?
I am gonna give it
Out of 10, give me.
I would say I'll give it a 9, dude.
I think I'm gonna give it a 9 too. I was thinking 8.5, but because I don't know how it truly ends, I'm gonna at least right now. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stick with 8.5 until it completely. If it ends with something a little bit better, like if it were to end right now, I would give it an 8.5.
That's true. We do have to wait till it ends because we don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah. So for now, I'm gonna get a 9. I'm enjoying it. We would go back to this score and change it after it ends. So we'll talk about it when the manga ends. So like in I don't know 2 months probably.
Yeah,
Depending on
after one chapter and then a break, so
yeah.
probably next year.
But the next we're gonna talk about is also another manga that's been popping off. Just same with My Hero. These two are freaking neck and neck, dude. Like each chapter it comes out with, because especially they're both at their war arc technically. But in my opinion, I think this one is a better with like so for example, dude, you know what we have done in a while, Ryan? Can you guess what we have done in a while?
Yes.
Talking shit about Naruto, dude. So let's get back to talking shit about Naruto. So listen to
Flashback,
this
dude.
shit, Naruto
Flashback.
fans. So the next we're talking about is JJK, and what I'm gonna talk about for right now is how perfect Gege has actually made Sukuna seem like as like the strength wise. Because through the entire show from the very beginning, like Sukuna was like the most powerful curse user. He was scary. He was the king of curses. You don't want to mess with Sukuna, bro. You can't do anything to fight this guy. And it actually comes full circle, dude. Like, Sukuna is destroying everyone, dude. And not just that, Sukuna is in a weakened state right now, dude. And no one can lay a finger on this freaking guy, dude. So I like the fact that Gege kept that. Like, I've been seeing people saying, oh, it's getting kind of repetitive because, like, they bring out a character and Sukuna just wipes him off. Like, well, yeah, dude, he's the king of freaking curses. What do you expect from the strongest character in the entire series, dude? Like, it's not like
so crazy.
Yeah, it's not like a certain fucking show where it's like this guy Madara was like the shit, bro. You need to watch it for Madara. But let's just fuck this guy. Let's bring out this other chick that's a god. And I'm like, what? No, people love Madara. Why you just change it to this random bitch that no one likes, dude? That's such a big F you to like the Naruto fans who were a fan of Madara, dude. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing, dude? So that's why I like that Sukuna is just being Sukuna the entire time. He's no tricks, no nothing. He's just like, dude, don't get near me. I'm gonna just fucking slice you. And that's what's been happening with Sukuna. You get near this guy, boom, just fucking kills you. And I like that about Sukuna. I think that's like a perfect representation of strongest character in their verse. And not just that, dude. He cut Gojo in half, dude. Like,
I was gonna say before you say that, like 1, 2, 3 spoiler, and then you
no, no, no,
could
no, no, no,
say
no, 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 no.
everything.
From the very beginning, I said that this next two mangas are gonna be talking about spoilers. So if they did, fuck them.
Okay, so I have a couple things to say about what you just said. Sukuna is what Madara would have been if they would have just hyped Madara up from arc 1. Like if in the original Naruto at the end, they were like, "Oh yeah, Sasuke has the potential to be like Madara Uchiha," and then you would have went into the lore of like Madara Uchiha. Then he fucking shows up like reincarnated and starts whooping ass. There would be that sense of like fulfillment, like, oh yeah, like this is the guy they've been talking about. Like this is him. Like I'm so happy, but instead they don't hype him up through the original series at all, and then in Shippuden it's only like kind of like halfway through it, and then it turns out like even halfway through it, it's not even really Madara, it's just Obito, and then Madara shows up at the very very end when you think Obito is the actual villain. Then he's like, actually, no, I'm not. It's actually Madara Uchiha, and we're like, who cares, bro? He hasn't done anything in the show so far.
Yeah, I
But
know, dude.
again, people are like, oh, it's getting repetitive. Like, you introduce a character and then Sukuna wipes him out. And I was like, but yet you guys glaze Demon Slayer, which is repetitive as
That's
hell.
so true. Yeah.
Introduce Hashira, introduce Moon, they fight, one of them dies. Same shit every time. Every time.
Or you can kind of say
But
the same for Naruto, dude. It's like, hey, let's fight. Oh, I can't. Hey, bro. Like, are you sure you want to be a villain, bro? Like,
hey, bro, chill out with that. Bro, don't be a villain. He's like, all right, my bad. My bad, dog.
I actually like the just the meme where it's like a. I remember someone was like, "Oh, what would happen if Naruto tried to do a talking no jutsu with Kid Buu?" It's like, are you sure you want to be a villain? Ah! He just fucking kills him, dude.
That's the same thing with Sukuna. Hey, come on. You don't have to be the king of curses. Yeah, I do.
Boom, just like a
Snaps his-
slice. Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's like you can't talk no jutsu with fucking Dragon Ball villains, bro. Like, they're just menaces.
But that's
But
another thing I was gonna say though. Like the beauty of Gege's writing is that he built up two characters on opposite sides, hyped him up, being the best. Gojo's the strongest sorcerer of today, and Sukuna is the strongest sorcerer of history. And throughout the whole time, we see these characters fight, but never at their peak of strength. We never get to see them at their maximum capability. So it was something that had to happen. People who know good storytelling know that, like, if you have these all powerful characters, like, for example, All Might, eventually they have to go away because they can't be here. Because if All Might stays All Might forever, why do we need Izuku?
mhm.
And the same thing now. If Gojo stays Gojo, like, what is the point of Itadori or Yuta or Megumi? It's there is none because Gojo just handles everything. So for Sukuna, what really worked for him is he had a foil, a character who was just as strong as him that he needed to fight if he wanted to be considered the strongest. Whereas like Madara, people could say like, oh, Hashirama, but Hashirama wasn't around in today's era. The strongest Shippuden of that era was Naruto or Sasuke, and they were nothing to Madara. So we really never knew what was the peak of Madara. Where now is like, okay, we know what the peak of what a real fight looks like in JJK, a fight between the two strongest in the history. And so I think that really worked out in Gege's favor. And now, man, now it is every chapter I feel anxiety. Like, okay, like who's gonna go this chapter or how are we gonna get out of this. It's like a real life disaster where you're in the middle of a burning building and you have no idea which way to run because every open area you run towards collapses. That is JJK now.
No, yeah, dude, and like, but then that's the thing. Like, when you see a character introduced, you think, oh, he's going out. But I think Gege has done a pretty good job on like having some characters stay alive and others kind of die. Like, for example, the whole Yuta and Yuji versus Sukuna was a really good fight, especially with the we finally could see Yuta's domain expansion, which is pretty cool.
I
Um,
wish that would have been a longer domain expansion. I felt like it had so much potential with all the swords and you to use like two swords.
yeah, I know, and I kind of like that with each sword has a separate like curse technique that Yuta has like put in his arsenal. And I like the fact that it kind of like because if you kind of think about it, Gege what he likes to do is like even though if a character is overpowered, he gives him some sort of like weakness. So from Yuta, we think he's like overpowered. He's because they always say, oh, he has potential to even rival Gojo. And when he did his domain expansion, you'll be like, damn, that is OP. He literally has every power he can store within those swords. But until you find out, you're just like, yeah, but I don't know which sword I'm picking up when I pick it up. Like, I'll find out what it is, what kind of power or curse technique it is when I pick it up. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Like, they kind of nerfed him to the point where he won't be 2P, because if he knew that shit, he could easily just pick up Gojo's Infinity Sword and just destroy Sukuna. But, like, if you see the panel, there's a stupid amount of swords there. It would take forever to use to find it. It would be like dumb luck, you know? Um,
But that's the beauty of good writing, because I was talking about something similar with one of my friends earlier in the week, is he nerfs them, but he also shows you how smart a character is. That each technique that Yuta picks up in that fight is like he uses it well.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Like it's never like um oh, like I picked up a curse technique and I have no idea how to use it or in what way to use it. He like picks it up and he's like, "Okay, I'm going to do this with it." And it shows you how like smart he is as a character. So I really enjoyed I enjoy Yuta. He's my favorite character in JJK. So I'm just going to glaze him. So any chance I get.
No, dude, he is a good, he's a great character, you know, and it's funny that Gege actually was gonna have him as the main character, for a while until because like before GTK was a series, Gege made a one shot, which was what was GTK, and Yuta was the main character, but then since it did so well, I think his editor was like, dude, make a series about it. He's like, all right, but then he decided to change the main character to Yuji, which I like because like you just finally getting his flowers. Like I know me and I were just talking about this the other time. How like finally, Yuji's becoming an actual MC now because he has potential, dude. Like every fight scene he's in, he like learns from it and he adapts really well. And we finally get to see him go head to head with the strongest character in the entire series, and he's actually holding his own and doing really good, and doing some good damage. Like so, that brings us to the most recent chapter that came out. Um, with Yuji. Well, Toto comes out. He finally comes out, which I was kind of like skeptical. Like, how is he gonna use his boogie woogie? You know. But then he has this one little um like instrument where if you smack the top, it like rattles, and he can use that rattle to switch. So he can switch like super fast. Like I seen a tweet, a video about like someone saying this is what Sukuna saw. It was like super fucking fast, and I was like, and then someone said, "How the fuck are you supposed to fight against that, dude? Like you have no idea what's going on, you know?" And
And it,
what happened?
again, it goes back to what I was saying with the smart like Boogie Woogie in like no offense, Megumi's hands, he's not gonna he's gonna be like, okay, this is kind of lame. Like I don't know what to do with it. But Boogie Woogie in Toto's hands is amazing because he understands that it's not just I can swap places with things. It's I can swap places with things, and when I'm about to swap places, it makes my opponent think, where am I gonna go? And when I don't, it leaves them open. Like we saw it work against Sukuna. Sukuna's like, oh, he's gonna switch places with this bird. Swings at the bird. He doesn't switch places, and then him and fucking Yuji start rocking his shit.
Yeah, and it's funny because we've seen that happen like 3 times. So this is the third time it's happened. We've seen it happen with the I think it's Hanami, which is like the that one curse who has like the branches and works the flowers. And then they did it again with Mahito, where he's like curse energy is from the soul, and he claps his hands, but since like one of his hands cut off, it didn't work, and he goes, "Oh, I guess my boogie woogie's dead." And like Mahito thought he was behind him, and Yuji didn't even swap. So I like how even with the strongest sorcerer in history, it still can fool the strongest. And not just that, but Toto actually has the highest IQ in on all of the JJK high schoolers from year 1 to 3 or 4. My bad. Um, they came out with this like a picture where it shows like the these students ranked from like the from IQ, and Toto was number one, which makes sense because I think they always talk about him being number one. I think last place was Akari was last place.
Dude, I was literally about to be like the whole time during the Yuta fight, you were talking about like how luck, like oh he's gonna have to draw the sword based off of luck. I was like, yeah, dude, what's gonna happen is Hikari is gonna toss Yuta a sword, and that's gonna be infinite, you know. And then like the whole time the Sukuna fight's been going on, I was like, where is this man? Where is this gambling addicted fucking guy at?
Dude, I know, dude. I've been waiting for Akari to show this whole, and it was funny was that they even teased them when Sukuna did like his world, like the fire arrow, and he like destroyed a good chunk of the city, and like Akari shows up for a second. I was like, okay, there he is, and then boom, he's gone again. I'm like, dude, where the hell is Akari? You would think they would finish that fight first before going to the Sukuna fight, because that's what usually mangas do is they show the like the lesser fight and then the big one. Where the fuck is Akari? Last we seen was that he was destroying that one chick. I forgot her name, but he was destroying her, and
Like, Hikari could beat women, but Endeavor can't. Like, what's going on here, guys?
exactly.
What-
No, and what's funny was that people were even like quoting, like, dude, like the JJK fan base, they've been quoting like what would like happen in the show, and in the manga, and there's two that I liked was with Hikari, they were like, if I'm pretty sure this would happen if like Hikari was to lose, is for the first time ever, Hikari luck runs out, and I'm like, I don't want to read that, dude, but that's really good though. And the next one was Sukuna versus Yuji. It was like the strongest sorcerer in history versus the strongest sorcerer of tomorrow. And I was like, damn, that's a hard ass fucking line for Yuji, dude. Um, I was thinking about saying something about this manga, and I totally forgot what I was gonna talk about.
what was the one where it was like, uh, he fought? Was it he fights Kashime, right?
Yeah,
And he's like, Sukuna, the strongest sorcerer in history, versus Kashime, the only sorcerer of today.
yeah, I know, right?
I was like, oh shit.
Oh, there you go. The recent chapter, they as soon as Yuji Yuji dug his hand into Sukuna's chest, like all five fingers are in Sukuna's chest, and when that happened, Sukuna gets a like he sees a ghost, and then he looks over to like the smoke in the silhouette of somebody, and he gets closer, and it's Gojo's fucking face, dude. And of course, they said that the ghost of Gojo was there. Um, and then me and Ryan were talking about it, and Ryan theorized that if it is going to be like actual Gojo, it's most likely going to be Kenjaku, which that makes sense. That's fucking Kenjaku. Um, but even if it does, dude, we've seen a tease of Geto actually almost taking his body back in the second season. So if fucking Toji could take his body back and he has no cursed energy, for sure, if Kenjaku was to take that body, Gojo's coming back for sure. Gojo's gonna take his soul back and he's gonna be back to normal. But I don't know. I feel like him coming back kind of ruins his character because I've even read about why Gojo, like saying Gojo actually lied when he said that he was gonna win against Sukuna. Like he actually lied because he knew in his mind he can't beat Sukuna, but that he was gonna try to do as much damage possible to the point where his students can actually finish it off for him. And that's kind of what happened. Like Sukuna can't even use Magaraga anymore. Like he can't use them. And then now Sukuna can't even use his domain expansion for some reason. Like, or not for some reason, because he just has no curse energy like as much anymore. So he can't even use his domain expansion. So I think that's good writing for Gojo because he's always been this cocky guy, like, oh yeah, I got everything myself. But like people are theorizing that he actually lied that he was gonna win and he knew that his students were gonna be the ones taking over. But I think it's bullshit when he dies. He's like, oh, Squid wasn't even going full strength. I can never beat him. And I'm like, dude, you're fucking this guy up, dude. he was forced to use Magoraga on you, dude. Like, if someone has to use that on you, dude, like you're destroying this guy. And like he even had Sukuna shitting his pants multiple occasions in the entire fight. So I think it's bullshit when people say, "Oh yeah, Sukuna won by a mile." Like, no, dude, no, no. He just got lucky that Gojo couldn't finish him off because this guy had to be like, "Oh, Magara,"
I heard it. Okay, so I'm gonna go over a couple things, right? So number one, my buddy had a really good theory about the spirit of the strongest goes for the strongest at the end of the chapter. So he pointed out that in every time like a major character like has a death, like Gojo, it happened to Gojo, happened to Geto, um, they like kind of go into like this ghost realm where they like talk to the other dead. Have you noticed that? Like how Gojo kind
Mm-hmm.
of goes back to the train station?
Mm-hmm.
And since Sukuna doesn't have any friends, the only person who would be there to welcome him to the other side would be Gojo. Because he tells Gojo, "I will never forget you as long as I live." So I'm not saying Sukuna's dead, but if he was, I think it would be really interesting if he's like domain, like how he's like saying it in his head, like that's what he wants to say, but doesn't mean it's gonna work because he's taken so much damage, and so he's kind of like dying here because he's taken a bunch of damage, and Itadori lands a very good final blow on him, and he sees the only person he's ever considered an equal who is ready to bring him to the next life. And then another thing, so that's one theory I heard. I'm not saying that's my theory. I'm saying that's one of my friends' theory. I really liked it. Thought I would say it here. Um, Another theory, kind of the one I have, is that it is Kenjaku in Gojo's body, and that's what's gonna wake Megumi up. Megumi is going to see his father figure being taken over and kind of like abused the power by Kenjaku, and he's going to fight to get out of Sukuna's body so that he can save or help Gojo rest in peace. And then because there was 3 pieces of artwork that were published, one of them was they were all in fighting poses, so it was Megumi in a fighting pose against Gojo, and people were saying that, oh, that's the Megumi Sukuna versus Gojo fight. Well, I'm saying that maybe it's not. Maybe it's gonna be this Kenjaku Gojo versus Megumi fight. And then another piece of artwork was Sukuna versus Itadori, and obviously we're watching that now. And the other one was Kenjaku versus Yuta, which we already saw earlier before the Sukuna fight. So I think that a lot of interesting things could happen where, like, if it is Kenjaku Gojo, I think Megumi will definitely come back.
Yeah, we're still to see, man. It's kind of like my hero. It's the wait for the next chapter. Um, yeah, this is personally my favorite shonen manga that's currently out right now from New Gen. I think he's been delivering, time and time again. And the thing is too, like he has a pretty good track record. Like the only arc that I've actually was like, kind of like not really waiting to read was probably the Culling Games arc.
I
But
agree.
but even that one has some good fights. But of course, like compared to like the first arc that happens, the inventory hidden arc or hidden inventory arc, the whole Shibuya incident arc, the arc that we're in right now, like it's been pretty much back to back solid arcs like all around. So I think this series is just solid all around in general. Um, so I'm not saying the Colonials is bad. I'm just saying that it wasn't as good as like what we've seen in the past 2 arcs that's passed. But then Gay kind of redeemed himself or herself. I'm not sure. They haven't released a gender for himself, but um, he redeemed himself with the next arc, which is the one we're at right now. And I think Sukuna and Gojo was like the best and best way of showing what the 2 strongest character in a verse, like the capabilities of what would happen. IQ wise, fight wise, damage wise, everything in general. It's just 10 out of 10, best fight for sure, hands down. Mappa, you has to do like a really good animation, which they have, dude. I mean, fucking Sukuna versus Jogo, and then
Yogo,
Sukuna versus Ma, can't,
Araga.
yeah, Mahoraga was just beautifully like animated. Even like Toji versus that one Sea Curse, and Yuji versus Mahito, and then Yuji and Toto, and ah, it's great, dude.
Yeah, and I'm I'm gonna say just keep it up. Every time I think I'm not like in the direction of the fight or the story, Gege just surprises me, and I'm like, okay, never mind. I'll trust you. You're freaking crushing it.
I know.
So like for me right now, I'm gonna give JJK a 9 for sure. And obviously this could change from here into the ending, and I'll let you guys know whenever the manga ends. But currently in its current arc, overall, I think it's a 9.
Yeah, I'll get like a 9.5 actually, almost 10 for me. Not just that, dude, but like I've never seen a manga where people would are looking for leaks, dude. You have to stay away from social media when I think 3 days before the chapter drops. You just have to stay away from social because everyone posts a leak, dude. Like I've never seen a manga like JJK where leaks get posted so goddamn quick, and people are looking for that shit, dude. I've never seen that before. Like I think the only one I've seen with My Hero was just the recent chapter with Deku winning. That was the last, or that's the only My Hero leak I've seen. But literally JJK every single week there's a leak, dude. I'm like, dude, you guys are just on it, dude. Holy shit.
Well, there's leaks for them. I've seen them, My Hero, and One Piece are the ones I constantly see leaks for.
Damn.
But I think it's time to transition, dude.
Yep. Yes, it is. It's time to transition to something that so far you're the only person that I actually know that is kind of like, like a swing set. Not a swing set. What were those, teeter totters? Is that what it's
Yes.
called? Yeah. Yeah, you're the only person that I've actually talked to that is kind of like like half and half with it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not an it's really nervous because it's finally happening, but it makes me really nervous.
yeah. Well, since I know it's your favorite manga, dude, just take it away. What is it, Ryan?
It is finally a 2D animated version of Berserk. The trailer dropped, when was it? Last week?
Yes. Yeah.
I believe last week. Trailer dropped. Watched it for the Black Swordsman arc, and the animation in some parts looked good. I really liked, and other parts I was like, it's okay. And my main concern really isn't the story because I know the story is going to be good. The animation quality looks decent, sometimes above average. My problem is going to be anime fans.
Yeah.
And I know people are going to say, like, oh, but everyone wanted a 2D animated version of Berserk. It's like, yes, but what about the people who didn't? What about the people who are going to lie to themselves and be like, I don't understand why Berserk fans have been hyping this up. AOT is still better, dude. It's like, stop it, dude. Get yourself some help. Check into a psych ward. Or like, this story's not even that good, dude. Naruto is better. It's like not even that dark, dude. Tokyo Ghoul rocked way more.
And that's the thing. Like, so I think one of the topics that the Studio Eclipse did, which is a fan studio, they really put a lot of emphasis on like faithful. So they said that they're gonna stick faithfully to the manga. So I'm hoping we see like literally page by page faithful. And they also said it's gonna be purely only 2D animation. They're not gonna use any CGI whatsoever. But I kind of knew like, yeah, maybe not. This is gonna be fully 2D because I know for a fact they're not gonna be able to animate that stairs the stair scene when when you first see the God Hand, and all five, villains from that god hand. And like it's like that staircase, like where it comes like
Yeah.
in different shapes and sizes and shit. I'm like, there's no way they can 2D animate that. That's too much stairs, bro. But I think it was pretty solid for being, because I mean I knew like it was a fan animation, so I wasn't expecting like professional studio type level animation. But from being just fan animation, I was like, dude, that's just pretty solid. Like you could tell they kind of took the golden age move, like the 3-part movie route, where like it's good animation, or it was like, well, no, the movies it was like kind of trash at the beginning, but from what I've seen from the studio or the fan studio was the fact that like they did some good decent animation art in the beginning, but then once it shows you like the final parts of that arc, it's like beautifully animated. Like Griffith looks fucking awesome and perfect. Like even like when Guts upside down, he shoots his hand cannon. Like he looked really like well animated too. And then even this explosion, like when it hits Griffith, that was a really good like explosion, like art style and stuff. So I feel like it's gonna be like when the Golden Age arc, where like they put so much time into like the final part of that movie. Um, I think it's pretty solid, but we have to wait and see. Luckily, it's gonna be free to me on YouTube. And it won't come out till next year in summer. So I think they're still working on it. So they might even just fix some things that like that you saw looked kind of weird. They're probably gonna do more work on it, which I'm kind of glad they're not gonna just release it right away. So yeah, I mean, I think it'll do well. No, I'm hoping it does justice. I don't know yet though. I'm kind of like you a little bit too, where I'm like, I don't know, but I mean, for the most part, it looks pretty solid. I hope people get to enjoy it because Berserk is a really awesome series. I know people don't have time to read the manga, which I would. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't, because it's beautifully art style is awesome. It's like on levels of Vagabond and Villain Saga of art style. If not better. Um, I don't know, man. Berserk is awesome.
Yeah, and I think that the saving grace for me is really the that it's a passion project. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of fans who are like, we're tired of the CG, we're tired of it not getting its just desserts. Let's just make our own. And I really do think that they did a great job um, with it. I mean, I can do it, but it just makes me nervous. It makes me nervous that it's finally getting this adaptation, and what if people don't think that it lives up to the hype? It's like, are people gonna start questioning its, you know, throne? Like they're gonna be like, oh, dude, well, like it's not the greatest of all time, dude. When it has this, can never have a good adaptation. It's like, I just don't want that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if people actually compare if people think that way, like, oh, in order to name this piece of media of anime the best, it has to have a good manga and a good anime. Like, no, that to me that's just fucking retarded. Like, if the manga is good enough, it's not the manga's fault that the studios make it terrible. Like, so you're saying it's Miurio's fault that Berserk hasn't had a good adaptation? Like, it's not his fucking fault. Like, he's been bringing out banger after banger of chapters with this beautiful art style, dude. Like, you can't just be like, oh, well, the manga's shit now because the anime isn't good. Like, no, dude, if that was the case, then Naruto's fucking garbage. Then One Piece is fucking garbage. No, One Piece is pretty good right now at the moment with the anime. But like,
I was gonna say I was gonna say that One Piece is like my
yeah,
prime example. Like it's got a
no.
great anime and a great manga.
What I meant
Except for the
was
beginning, it's for kids, but
what I actually meant was because I was trying to think of like shows like that where like the anime wasn't good. Um, Tokyo Ghoul, like Tokyo Ghoul has an amazing manga, but because the anime was kind of trash, like later on, you're gonna say that this series is garbage in general. Like, no, that's just stupid in my opinion. You can't do that. It's retarded.
yeah, that's what I just don't want. Like, I'm tired of going on the internet and just seeing toxic opinions, bro. I'm gonna be honest. That's my main thing. I'm like, oh my god, dude, I'm so tired of this shit.
I actually haven't. I don't see much people talking shit about Berserk in my opinion.
I don't
Um,
either, but that's what I'm saying. I'm
you know,
saying that what if they're like, oh, well, they do talk shit about the anime versions. Like, oh, bro, this adaptation is so fucking garbage. CG sucks. Wish it
yeah,
would do 2D.
yeah,
And then they're gonna
but
do a 2D, and they're gonna be like, this shit fucking sucks. I wish the actual studio had it.
yeah, but the thing with the Berserk anime being trash is that even the hard Berserk fans are agree with it. Like, nah, yeah, I think it's trash.
Yeah, that's true.
um. Oh shit! I was still gonna bring something up, and I totally forgot what I was gonna say. God damn it!
Was it something about the animation? Something about an anime having a good manga but a shitty adaptation?
Oh, there
I
you
don't know.
go. I was gonna say that like people are always gonna talk smack about something, even if it's good. So for a prime example, like when people say Drake won, is like, no, you're fucking brain dead, bro. You're just glazing the shit of
Brain rot,
this
bro.
pedophile's penis, bro. You know
You know who really won?
who won?
J.
Don't say
Cole.
J. I know you say J Cole, you son of a bitch, dude.
Dude, J. Cole, bro, he has no enemies, bro. He's on that Thorfinn shit, dude.
Yeah.
He was like, I have no enemies.
What's funny was like I even seen the interview. We're gonna go off topic here, but I've seen an interview. The interview one of Kendrick's close friends, and he was pretty much saying like all these things that Kendrick done. This guy Kendrick has 10 songs in the bag, or he recorded 10 songs in one session, bro. So he had 10 clips ready to go out, and apparently he was smiling every time Drake responded with one of his songs. Um, Kendrick apparently called J Cole saying, "Hey, bro, like just let you know, like I fucking hate this guy. So like, if you want to have a friendly fade, you can stay, but I'm gonna go in this guy." And then J Cole's like, "Oh, okay, then I'm out. I'm out." um, yeah, dude. I want to hear the rest of those songs that Kendrick recorded, man.
Yeah, he should really drop all 10 of 'em. But that's the thing, he's gonna keep them in his back pocket just in case Drake wants to say some fucking dumbass shit later on. He's gonna be like, okay, here you go.
Yeah, apparently, I've read apparently that he can't. Kendrick has a contract with Sony where he can't release another song until the PlayStation Showcase happens. I forgot the reason behind it, but I read it. I'm like, that's kind of weird. But I think the PlayStation Showcase is supposed to happen this week. I think I don't know. I can't remember, but
Hopefully. And then we can get another Kendrick song.
exactly, yeah.
See, the thing is, right, is Kendrick is like the berserk of rap, dude. He is just angry and destructive for almost no reason.
Yeah, and Kendrick doesn't have to drop shit constantly to be, to
The
be
the
called the goat.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like I said, J. Cole is the Vinland Saga, and he's just like, I have no enemies. I'll drop when I'm ready, and it's gonna be quality, and everyone knows it. You
Yeah.
know. And then Drake is Naruto.
Hey, I have to release Boruto to be fucking like relevant, dude. You know what I'm
600 and some odd episodes of flaming garbage.
saying? Oh man, I miss talking shit about Naruto, man.
Oh, dude, part two. Everyone, put a comment down, guys, if you want us to flame Naruto again. We'll come up with some. Or you know what? Put a comment down if you want us to flame Naruto. Put an anime in the comments that you want us to flame, and if we've seen it, we'll flame
Yup.
it. And if we haven't seen it, we'll watch it and then flame it.
Well, final thoughts. My Hero Academia manga, and it's ending. Great, read it. Anime, you can watch if you want, but just know that like towards like the recent seasons, is the animation did go down in style. JJK manga, great. Anime, also fucking great. So I recommend that one highly. Berserk fan animation, we have to wait and see. We can't really say about anything much about it now. All we can say, the trailer looked pretty solid. It didn't look too bad. I like that they're gonna stick with the gory and like the whole like darkness of that manga. They even have Guts fucking a demon, dude, and then
I saw
killing
that.
her right after. I'm like, oh shit, they're actually adding this, dude. Like they didn't fuck around when they said that it's gonna be faithful to the manga.
I was like, dude, I'm gonna bust in that scene for sure.
But not with the chick, just Guts, bro.
Just guts, yes.
um,
Another thing is, for those of you guys who I'm sure you already know, if you don't know, if you guys are Haikyuu fans, May 30th, the movie comes out, the Garbage Jump Battle comes out across the U.S. and Canada, subbed and dubbed. So check your local theater out for that and support the official release.
Oh, and then also before we go, I also want to mention I think a really good piece of art that the fan studio with Berserk was when Gus was laying down and then Costco's next to him and she kind of like touches his face a little bit and he's like, "Oh, what?" And then as soon as he reaches his hand towards her, like it changes to his sword, and I was like, "That's pretty dope, dude. I actually like that. That's pretty cool."
Oh yeah, it breaks my heart every time though.
Oh yeah. because it's going back to him like where he can't sleep without a store anymore. And I'm like, damn, we're going back to that again, dude.
Hmm.
We
Yep.
just me and you had to see this 3 times, bro. The manga and the original anime and then the fucking movie, dude. Now we're gonna see it for the fourth damn time.
And hopefully it's the last time.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, don't forget to follow Leo. Leo, plug yourself here.
YouTube.com/phone deal Leo with no, yeah, phone deal Leo. Yeah. I try to stream every day. I've been posting a lot on YouTube, my shorts. Yeah, if you guys want to see me play some games and have the same attitude talking shit, then yeah, come watch me.
I'm talking Fallout. I'm talking Elden Ring. I'm talking Skyrim.
As
Guy
a
is hilarious. Check out his shorts, dude. His Fallout shorts have been killing me. Please check them out.
As a matter of fact, I'm actually gonna play X-Defiant. I'm probably gonna stream some of that. That's coming out. It's quote unquote COD killer. So, as a matter of fact, me and Ryan might talk about it. We might talk about that. We'll talk about X-Defiant and see how it is. If it's gonna be dethrone Call of Duty because it's been kind of trash lately. So.
Please God, I hope so. All right, guys. Again, please don't forget to follow us on Spotify and on YouTube at The Gamer and the Weeb. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at TheGamer_the Weeb. And again, guys, this has been The Gamer and the Weeb, the only podcast that will jump you with Boogie Woogie. Signing off.
Later.